first looking at the temperatures, um, as you can see, temperatures today not getting out of the 30s, remaining in remaining into the upper 30s by later on today, and not getting any warmer than that with this cold front that has passed this region, and winds out of the north and northwest. Um, then by later on this evening into tonight, winds will be out of the west, and cold air will remain in our region for early tomorrow morning with temperatures likely in the upper 20s early in the morning. And temperatures will warm up throughout the day, potentially into the upper 30s. If we're lucky, it could get pushed to 40, but um, this model has it getting over 40, but um, there's a lot of disagreement about that, and I'm not sure. We may get to the upper 30s, and I don't think we'll quite push to 40 degrees given the consensus of most modeling, but I think we will get at least to the upper 30s, sorry, tomorrow, and maybe not quite reach 40 degrees. Um, then we have winds directly out of the west by tomorrow evening. Frigid air, as you can see, in the Midwest, areas like northern Indiana, Ohio, temperatures only around sometimes 0 degrees if you look at that in like Fort Wayne. Um, Around the Valpo region, around -1 to 0 degrees in Valparaiso, Indiana. If you don't know where that is, it's just south of Lake Michigan here. Chicago region around 0 degrees as well, and only around like 5 degrees around the northern Ohio regions. So that frigid air, and we'll have westerly winds. So colder air will be moving into this region from these regions further to the west where there is that frigid air. So as you can see, by Tuesday it'll be much colder. Not as cold as these areas in the Midwest where the polar air really pushes down more strongly. Um, in our region, that polar air um, it won't push as strongly into our region, um, which is more typically the case. The Midwest typically gets colder, and the influences of the mountains in our region, as well as the us being right along the coast near the Atlantic Ocean, that frigid air doesn't typically push as strongly into our region as it does into the Midwest. But nonetheless, obviously that cold air is still moving into our area, and it still will be very cold with lows in the teens and then pushing into the only highs in the 20s during the day Tuesday. So we won't expect a we'll expect temperatures below freezing throughout the day. Um, Winds at times, so feeling very cold, um, and not a very significant warm up throughout the day, and very cold conditions in the morning. So just something to be aware of. Uh, it won't be as dangerously cold as some regions further to the west, but still something to be aware of, and just make sure you're prepared for the cold weather. Um, so then moving along from the temperatures, I'll go to the precipitation. And as I mentioned earlier, there's a chance of a little bit of snow with some snow showers from that system to the southwest currently. There could be some snow showers pushing into our region later today. So the current time is um, it's around 18Z right now, a little bit before 18Z. But as you can see, most of the precipitation here is still to our southwest. And by later on in the afternoon, it has that snow pushing back into especially areas east of DC, but potentially even DC and Montgomery County as well, and then areas further south as well as further east. It looks like there could be that precipitation. Anywhere further west, it doesn't look like that precipitation will move into those regions because it's moving towards the northeast, and those areas are just too far west and north to get any precipitation later on today from this system. So that, but areas along Montgomery County, DC, further east, it looks like there could be some snow um, moving into our area, only for a brief period. This has it only from around 2 or 3 p.m. today till around um, 6 p.m. So it's only for a brief period this afternoon into this evening, and it won't be a lot of snow. It's very minor accumulations, but it's just something to be aware of. As you can see here on this model, around zero point 0.3 inches of snow. So the potential for a brief period of like snow with a coating of snow possible. Um, Not much more than a coating, a light coating on the grass though. So nothing significant and nothing that should have a major impact on travel or anything. It's just something to sort of look at. May look pretty for a brief minute, but just sort of something to talk about, and it shouldn't have a major impact on your day. Um, then, moving along to Monday, as I mentioned, there will be fairly cold temperatures throughout the day Monday in our region. Um, Highs likely not getting out of the 30s, and you can see though it will be dry after that snow chance today for Monday, and then going on into Tuesday. Um, I'll look at the temperatures for the sort of the longer range time periods, and I mentioned that much colder air moving in. As you can see, that's in play for Tuesday, with highs likely only in the 20s and lows in the teens on Tuesday. Winds out of the west. Um, by Wednesday, it'll warm up a bit because of those. You see winds shift out of the south, bringing in warmer air from the south into our region, and we will likely get a warm up at least into the mid to upper 30s by the day Wednesday. Then going on into Thursday, another decent warm up with temperatures definitely into the mid to upper 40s by Thursday at this point. So temperatures will continue to gradually warm after we have that big time of cold weather with a lot of cold air moving in on Tuesday. Temperatures will definitely warm after that by the time we get to Wednesday, and then get even warmer by Thursday. Then once we get to Friday, it looks like another cold front will pass into the region with winds now pushing out of the northwest and cold air into our region with highs only reaching the mid 30s. Once we get out into Saturday of next week, very frigid air, according to this model. Lows only around 12 degrees and highs only pushing around like 20 at this point. This is a long way out now, so this was definitely something I would take with a grain of salt. It could definitely be warmer than this, but nonetheless, it looks like some frigid air is definitely something in play for next weekend, something to be aware of. And then Sunday as well, lows only around 13, highs still pushing in to the mid to upper 20s. So getting warmer, but still very cold air. And we're just going even further along in the model. We're just expecting some fairly cold air for a long time. Nothing, nothing quite as cold as that after, but still going into late January, we expect cold temperatures within our region. So now looking at sort of precipitation for these times as well with that cold air. Um, it looks like fairly dry on Tuesday into Wednesday. Before on Thursday, there's the potential late this week for potentially some rain or snow, but most of that could stay to our west. It's just something to be aware of at this time. And then another potential, as you can see, a region of precipitation that's down to our south. If this pushes further up, we could see some rain or snow as well later on this weekend in our area. It's something to be aware of, um, but it's nothing we can be confident of at this time yet. So this model really doesn't bring any major snow. The potential for a snow Wednesday of next week, a brief period of snow, but this model doesn't bring any major snow to our region. It's just it brings mostly dry conditions whenever it gets cold. As you can see, only like 0.3 inches of snow still by by around 10 days out from now. So nothing significant according to that model. Looking at the European model, that was the American model I was just referencing. Looking at the European model, um, it also doesn't bring any major snow throughout this week, but it brings the potential for a pretty decent snow early to middle next week. By around Monday of next week, it looks like it brings around 4 inches to DC, more further north and less further south. DC is sort of right on the border between a very good snowstorm and not much snow at all. So that's a long way out. It's about a week out at this. It's about a week or so, a little more than a week out at this point. So at this point, we really aren't certain if it'll snow, if we'll get a lot of snow, if we'll get a little snow. This is just models as of now, and it's nothing um, you can take very seriously. It's just what I see as of now, but you can't make an official forecast for anything yet for something as far out as this, over a week out. So we may get snow. We could even have the potential for a significant snow. As you can see, areas further north, like Pennsylvania, have over a foot of snow. It's just it's something to watch out for, but don't plan on snow as of now yet because it's so far out. Um, so after looking at the temperatures as well as those snow chances, now I'll look at the 5-day forecast I wrote up for our region. So for today, for Sunday, as I mentioned, later on this afternoon, I'd say likely around 3 or 4 o'clock, um, there will likely be some light snow showers moving in to the DC area. Um, and those snow showers will likely move out by later on in the evening, around like 7 o'clock. Um, and only like a light coating of snow is likely, especially DC and points, um, especially right around DC. Only a light coating of snow is how much would likely happen. Potentially more to points further east, uh, but even there won't be significant snow today. Uh, Winds also today will be out of the northwest around 10 miles per hour. By tomorrow, Monday, expect mostly sunny skies, high of 39 and a low of 21. We could push 40 with the mostly sunny skies, but just given the majority of model runs and um, the fact that we'll have that cold air to our west, sort of with cold air advection and cold air pushing into our area, I don't expect us to even reach 40 degrees. Winds will be out of the west at 15 miles per hour, so pretty decent winds as well. Tuesday, sunny skies, winds out of the west at 10 miles per hour. I have only 27 degrees and a low of 18 degrees, so that frigid air is now pushing in from uh, that that is currently in the Midwest now. By on Tuesday, that frigid air will be pushing in. By Wednesday of by Wednesday, expect partially sunny skies. Winds out of the south at 10 miles per hour with warm air pushing into our region. A high of 40 and a low of 33 degrees. And by Thursday, expect winds out of the west at around 5 miles per hour with a high of 48 and a low of 28 degrees. So, sort of just a gradual warm up after we have that major um, sort of push of cold air into our region by Tuesday. We'll have a gradual warm up um, as we go later on into the work week. And that just about concludes my forecast for today. Um, leave a like on leave a like if you like this content, and I hope you continue watching. And I look forward to forecasting again in the future um, as we go through this winter. So thank you.